Hey, here's a question for you. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? That I may not be able to answer, but what I can tell you here is in a sentence where you have an action and a place where that action occurs, which comes first? Is it the action or is it the place? In English, it's usually the action that comes first and the place gets attached at the end of the sentence. I cooked in the kitchen. Cook comes first. In the kitchen appears at the end. He slept at the library. Sleeping comes first, and then at the library comes second. My phone fell in the water. The falling comes first, and then in the water comes second. The football landed on the grass. First you have the landing action, and then you have on the grass. So the location is always at the end of the sentence, and before that you have the action. That is the default mode in English, or what us linguists like to call the unmarked state of things. Of course, in a more poetic diction, or when you want to emphasize the location, you can sometimes say things like, on the grass the ball landed, or in the water my phone fell. But that's not the normal way of things. That's not how people normally talk. So we say that in English, the normal way to sequence these two elements is first you have the action, and then you have the place. Now, that's not the way things work at all in Chinese. In Chinese, when you consider the action and the place, sometimes the place is in front, sometimes the action is in front. And which one comes first depends on the nature of the place or location. In most situations, what you have is the location as a setting or a stage. Think of the sentence, I cooked in the kitchen. The kitchen is the setting in which I perform the action of cooking. So in a way, I have to be in the kitchen first before I can start cooking. When that is the case, the place always appears first in the Chinese sentence. 我在厨房煮饭. 在厨房 in the kitchen has to come first because that's where I go first before I perform the action 煮饭. So 我在厨房煮饭. In the kitchen, I cook. That is the only correct way to say the sentence in Chinese. Similarly, he slept at the library. He has to be at the library first before he can start sleeping. So the Chinese sentence would be 他在图书馆睡觉. Okay, he has to be 在图书馆 at the library first before he can 睡觉. So 他在图书馆睡觉 will be the correct word order in Chinese. The setting or stage comes first, and then the action that takes place on the stage comes second. However, there's a second situation where the location comes after the action, and that is when the location becomes a destination. What do I mean by destination? Okay, let's say I'm driving to New York. Okay, so the driving has to come first before I can reach New York. New York is where I end up after the action of driving is completed. Okay, when that is the case, when the location is a destination, then it comes at the end of the sentence. It comes after the action. So in Chinese, you would say, 我开车到纽约. Okay, 开车, driving comes first, and then destination, 纽约, 到纽约 comes second. Okay, when the location is a destination, it comes after the action. 我开车到纽约. Similarly, my phone fell in the water. The water is a destination. So, 我的手机掉在水里. Okay, 掉, falling comes first, and then 在水里, in the water, comes after that. 我的手机掉在水里. Or, the ball landed on the grass. Okay, the landing has to happen first before the ball ends up on the grass. So in Chinese, you would have to say 球掉在草地上. 掉, falling comes first, and then 草地上, on the grass, comes second. 球掉在草地上. There are some situations in Chinese where the action and the location can be switched around, and they would mean different things because of the reordering. So for example, I jogged to school. 我跑步到学校. The jogging comes first, and the school becomes the destination. So 我跑步, I jogged, 到学校, to school, in this particular order. But if I switch it around, 我到学校跑步, I go to the school first, and then I start jogging. What that means is I went to the school to jog. Maybe the school is really beautiful and large. It's a really good place for jogging. So I go there first, I drive there, and then once I'm there, once I'm on the campus, I start jogging. Okay, if that's what I want to communicate, then I would say 我到学校跑步. So 我跑步到学校, I jog to school, has a different meaning from 我到学校跑步, I went to school to jog. Similarly, 我开车到纽约, I drive to New York, is different from 我到纽约开车, I went to New York to drive. Maybe I don't have a car where I live, my car is in New York, so I have to go to New York in order to drive. If that's the case, then 我到纽约开车. Okay, when you switch the sequence of action and location, the meaning becomes totally different. There are also situations where the meaning of the sentence in English may be ambiguous, but in Chinese, it's not at all because the order is specified. Think of the sentence, the monkey jumped on the bed.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head.
The monkey jumped on the bed. Okay, this could have at least two different meanings. The first meaning, I told you not to jump on the bed. The bed is really fragile, so when you're on the bed, please don't jump. But the monkey didn't listen to me. The monkey was on the bed and he started jumping. The monkey actually jumped while he was on the bed. The monkey jumped on the bed. That's meaning number one. The monkey was on the bed and it started jumping. The monkey jumped on the bed. Meaning number two. How did the monkey get on the bed? Well, the monkey simply jumped on the bed. The monkey jumped onto the bed. Could also be an interpretation of the monkey jumped on the bed. So it could be that the monkey was on the bed jumping, or it could be that the monkey was on the floor and then the monkey jumped onto the bed. The monkey jumped on the bed could have these two different meanings. Now, these two different meanings are expressed differently in Chinese. If the monkey was already on the bed and started jumping, you would say 猴子在床上跳. The 在床上 will come before the 跳. On the bed first, and then the jumping occurs. Whereas if the monkey was on the floor and jumped and ended up on the bed, then you would say 猴子跳到床上. The 跳 comes first, and then they end up on the bed, 在床上. Okay, 猴子在床上跳 is different from 猴子跳在床上 or 跳到床上. Here's another one for you. Why did the chicken cross the road? Now, in Chinese, does the crossing come first or does the road come first? You have to think of it this way. When the crossing first starts, the chicken isn't on the road yet, right? The road is where the chicken ends up when he starts crossing. So you have to say cross first and then the road. 鸡为什么过马路? 过 first and then 马路 second. 鸡为什么过马路? Why did the chicken cross the road? Speaking of chickens, let me let you in on a little secret. What came first? The chicken or the egg? Of course it's the egg, because the chicken comes out of the egg, right? Now, who laid the egg? The animal that laid the egg isn't 100% chicken. It's maybe 90% chicken and 10% dinosaur. And it's not until the next generation that the animal becomes 100% chicken. So, of course, the egg comes before the chicken. As for action and location, remember that if the location is a setting, then the location comes before the action. If the location is a destination, then the action comes before the location. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.